What's good, y'all? It's your man, Kil.
And I'm Shandell.
You were tuned into the HK Couch, the official podcast of Horton's Kids here in our media lab, sponsored by In a Perfect World.
Horton's Kids is a nonprofit that serves communities in Anacostia.
No doubt, no doubt. Today, we got a guest in here today.
Yeah.
A man of many talents, many hats. He is the president of the Alliance of Concerned Men, an ANC Commissioner, and he's a restaurant co-owner here in the district. Clayton Rosenberg, what's going on, bro?
Oh, thank you so much. I'm humble to be blessed to be with you all. This is a humbling experience. Thank you for the invite, and I'm ready to let's chop it up.
Right. Welcome to the couch.
Yes.
So before we get started, we love asking all of our guests just to tell us a little bit about yourself. I know Kil kind of put some things out there about you, but we want you to describe yourself.
Yes. Okay. So I'm a 6th generation Washingtonian. Born and raised in D.C. In Southeast D.C. One of the neighborhoods that you all serve, Wellington Park, and also 58th Street in Northeast and Southeast. So this has been a journey of mine. I graduated from Eastern Senior High School. I won't give you the year, but I graduated from East, and I did a lot of things for DC. Played a lot of sports. I attended the University of Iowa for undergrad, majored in political science and criminology. From there, came back to DC, worked in government for a few, and then I left again to go and pursue my first master's degree at Horton International Business School in international business. At Hart, I was able to, have my first experience of traveling the world. I was able to live in London, live in Dubai, and come back and just share everything with all of my peers. This is where Alliance of Concerned Men came into the fold. Actually, this organization helped donate it for me to pursue my master's degree because I was a mentee in the organization at a young age. So technically, the organization been around for the past 33 years. I was mentee. I probably got like 24 years of that, just because of how I started and where I developed. Because of the donation, I was able to finish up with my degree. I got my first master's, and I had, told myself because of what they did at the time where I needed it, I appreciate that. So I came back to help the Alliance of Concerned Men out. I started as the chief of staff. I was the chief of staff, and this was a time, we're going through turmoil. Like there wasn't a lot of funding for nonprofits that was doing the work that we were doing in youth and gang intervention. So I pretty much said, we're going to change it. We was on the front line. If you seen anything happening in the city, you would see ACM there. And we had a small team, but we were mighty. We were everywhere. Developed that. I decided to go back to school after about 3 years. We were on the organization, had a grant from the mayor office, from the Office of Attorney General at the same time. And, it developed everything that we were trying to do. So we were in a good place where I said, I wanted more. I decided to go get my MBA at Hart. So I spent time in Turkey. I lived in Turkey. Came back to, DC after I got my MBA, and our executive director that we had just retired, was doing the transition to retire, and rest in peace, our president had passed away. So I came back to the organization. My boy, my guy, Terrence, became the executive director, and I took over the role as president of the organization. And we pretty much been, as they say, cooking with Crisco grease, olive oil, and some more. Pretty much now we have a federal contract, DOJ. We're part of the White House Task Force for Public Safety, the only Washington, D.C. organization. And we've been, really just trying to do the work, but doing the work with efficiency, with grace, and then respecting, the people in this field, because we know it's a hard thing that we're doing. We're not doing nothing that's easy, and getting more people involved and just trying to see how everybody can participate and add value, even if they don't know how to. Fast forward now, we actually are in the schools.
All right.
Yeah, we're doing conflict resolution in the schools where we're teaching the youth how to deal with their emotions, what it means to really work amongst each other, that peer-to-peer mentoring, and understanding that this is only the beginning, not the end. There's always a comma, not a period. You always can change no matter how you start, because we all pretty much change. I changed, Everything wasn't all, sunshine and rainbows. Even in, me stepping into the restaurant industry. It's been a journey, but I'm blessed. I truly am. And I'm ready to, that's a little bit about me, but I'm ready to answer questions and just, let you all know this journey wasn't easy. Definitely.
Well, that's what we want to get into, is the journey. So
Yeah. So, we all three of us were able to meet each other. Well, I met Kil, obviously, 5 years ago, but we met you at an OAG meeting, and it was really centered around youth violence prevention. And currently, you're a part of our series where we are just talking to different stakeholders and community members just about youth violence prevention. And just to get your perspective on, A, what do you think is causing it? B, what do you think is needed in the community in order to help our youth understand that this is not the pathway that they should take? C, to hear more about you, because you are from the community that we do serve, right? And you did share that some people that you grew up with are still there doing some of the same things that we've seen that contributes to some of the youth violence. And just for us to kind of like flow with this conversation, because ultimately what we want people to understand how we can help the youth, but also we want to shed light on what's the root cause of it all.
Yes. So it's a lot. So with the first, we met each other at OAG. So a funny thing about the Office of Attorney General, prior, when I came back from my MBA, I was actually the Attorney General political director and senior body person on a campaign trail as he was running for Attorney General. So this was like my guy. We was with each other all, every day. But the nonprofit world pretty much excited me, and this is my passion, to help people other than in the government role, because I did try the government role. That's why I left and pursued the first master's. But public safety that's what I brought to him. This was something that I knew it was going to come up. It was many different programs that the Office of Attorney General was piloting at the time. And I was in the beginning and started with the previous Attorney General. So I was in the mix and really trying to see how can we make something that's working much better. Mm-hmm. This public safety and how can we help the youth where they need to be helped at? Like, how can we meet them where they're at? Instead of getting them to always come to us when we know, we were youth. We all were youth before. We always don't take the shiny things. I remember actually in the community, Horton kids was in the community, and I used to, because it was, as we call it, down, bottom, up top, and the middle.
Right.
Yeah, I lived in the middle part, and I didn't always go down bottom because even, as young kids, we were quote unquote beefing with each other, right? Mm-hmm. And we'll have fights amongst each other. But it was nothing to the level that it is with, the youth crime now. But even us having those little fights, I'm not going down bottom, because if I go down there, I might end up fighting. Right. And even though I know that Horton kids was down there and they were helping, I was just like, I don't want to go down there because it's by the basketball court. It's like, hey, they knew we was going right there.
Right.
And, we had to be strategic. Mm-hmm. We had to be strategic if we wanted to participate. But, with that, I knew at that young age, I understood that I'm going to have to fight and I'm going to have to, pretty much protect my siblings because I'm the oldest of 6 brothers and sisters. So, at the time, it's like I'm always trying to figure out how do I help my mom, how do I help my siblings, and then how do I help my community? Mm-hmm. It's like I always been that type of individual. And I think growing up in a single parent household, I didn't know my father. So a lot of this is pretty much I learned from looking at other black males in my, ecosystem. Like I was always trying to do something because I think I have a form of ADHD because I could not sit still where I just never wanted to be home. I wanted to be out. I wanted to be doing something. So I used to volunteer all the time. So which is another funny thing. I won the community service award in junior high school and in high school for DC.
Oh, so you were destined to do this.
And I just been doing it because I just didn't want to be bored. It's not like this was like the only thing that I wanted to do just to keep volunteering. But it just happened to be my only out to not be in my community because I didn't want to, be doing the same thing over and over. I don't want to keep standing outside and chopping it up every day. I'm like, I'd rather be by myself playing video games. Or, it was like, where's my out? My out was volunteering because I got to meet new people. I got to experience stuff that naturally I want to experience in my own community. And that's what the youth need. It's like they're looking for ways out, like different ways to be out. But there's not a lot of like male role models or female role models that are actually helping these youth to find that path to this is my way out. Like, but really hands on because too many times people could have gave up on me because I wanted to be out the community. But it's like a lot of people don't know how to express themselves now. How do I tell somebody I want help, I need help, like I'm asking for help without getting in trouble? It's like nowadays, and I see this even with some of the parents that we're dealing with, they're telling their children, go get in trouble. That's the only way we're going to get some help. And that's a sad thing to say to children that, is trying to develop. But, everybody make choices and, we wake up with a chance and a choice and pretty much we make mistakes.
Yeah.
And a lot of parents maybe made some mistakes in that growth path. And the youth are now got to bear those mistakes because they don't have the things that they need in order to, grow. What's that growth mindset? They don't understand that. So they learning on their own. They learning from people that's living in the same circumstances as they're. And you can't learn from somebody that's there with you on your same level. It's like, how do you branch out though and meet other people? But you can't because that's all you know is your community.
I do have a question. So you said something very interesting that people need help, right? And how do you ask for help? How do you even go about telling someone that that's actually what you need is help? When you say help, what is it that you feel like people needed help with, or anyone who was in your like little you, young you, right? What did you need help with? What did your family need help with?
So at the time, I know I needed help with just understanding how to express myself emotionally without, being aggressive. Because I got suspended. And I'll tell y'all this, no one knows. I got suspended one time from school in my life. But that one time I got suspended was for 75 days.
Wow.
So exactly. So my emotions was that high. It's like I would never put myself in a position to where, I want to, lose my temper or didn't. But if you got me to that level, it was to that level, right? But because of that, that's what pretty much developed. Like, I need to calm down. I need to, being by yourself for 75 days, you start thinking about some stuff. And
it's like solitary confinement almost.
And it was. And, they giving me like assignments to do on my own. And I'm just like, this is not what I want. And this was in junior high school, my only time. And I was just like, this is not it for me. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. But that was the thing when I say like, I needed help. I know that people that are like growing up right now, my little brothers, like my little sisters, the community, people that I like see every day, they asking for the help. They need help just being around other people, being able to be themselves without being judged, being able to have a safe environment, being able to get out of their environment into other environments, being able to meet people that are going to really help them develop themselves. But that help factor, because they're going to listen to, it's their parents. Their parents is telling them, look, I don't know what to do. Like anytime I go down there and I try to ask for some help or ask to see if we can get you some stuff, they're not giving me the things that I need because they think I'm okay. You have to get in trouble because there's a system when you get in trouble now, and it's a system that needs to be adjusted. You get in trouble, then you get the resources to rehabilitate or to get you on a better level in life. But that's a broken system because there's a lot of students that are doing the right thing that need the same amount of help that are persevering. However, they don't get them same benefits as well. But we know the ones that are messing up, because I was one of the ones that was messing up, need a little bit more extra care. And that's fine. We got to give them extra care. But let's not forget about the ones who are persevering and doing what they have to do in this society and in this, like, it's tough, it's hard, it's difficult to be a youth right now. Access to anything you want, you can get access to it if you want it, and they're more willing to give it to the youth because the moral of the story is you're not gonna get that much time, or you're gonna be good, but a lot of people dying, a lot of families are gone, and it's like we're not really caring for that mental state of these individuals. Like, how do they really deal with their emotions, women and men? Like, it's not just the young boys no more. Everybody can see it's the young women. Mm-hmm. And it's like, hey, something has to be done, or we're going to have as what Tupac said, we're going to have this race of individuals that look like us, hating each other and continue to hurt each other, where we look at other people and we like, it's that superiority, inferior. It's like we don't want that level amongst ourselves. Like, we have to really, be the ones helping each other and focusing on what we can do to advance our social qualities. Because right now we're failing in that path.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now tell me this: you're growing up in Wellington Park. Mm-hmm. You want to get out. What do you think made it different for you to want to get out? Because most people from Wellington Park, or any neighborhood for that matter, mm-hmm. You don't leave your neighborhood, mm-hmm. because like you said, you're not only beefing with people in your neighborhood, you're beefing with other neighborhoods. Yep. So what do you think it was that was in you to want to get out and where most people don't want to move? Yeah.
So for me, it was having those neighborhood fights where I'm not just fighting the community, but I'm fighting other communities for my neighborhood. And then
Wellington over everything.
Yeah, it was like, we had to fight, and even like walking home, like I might go to another neighborhood to go, hang out with my friends that I met at school, but they live around another neighborhood. And I have to fight now other people from that neighborhood because it's naturally, oh, who are you? Like, we protecting something that we don't even own. Mm. It's like, protect ownership, like own something. But I think for real, how I got out is my mom, because my mom decided to move, and that's why I lived in probably so many places in D.C. If somebody probably say I'm from this neighborhood, that neighborhood, but I spent majority of my time, my younger age in 58th, and then my growing age in Wellington Park. But then after that, my mom was just moving, to different places, and I think her wanting to take us out of our environment in that way really helped. But also meeting some of my peers. Like, I remember I had a friend, this would really open my eyes. I had a friend, for some reason, I don't know how, but he knew Sugar Ray Leonard's brother. And he knew his brother, and they took us on a trip, a couple guys from Wellington Park. Like, they took us on a little trip, took us to the gym, and, they fed us. You got me out of my environment, feeding me some good food that I didn't eat before. Like, and I was like, oh, I like this. I was like, I really enjoy this. Like, because we be stuck in our circle, in our bubble, and we think that's all. Mm-hmm. Like, your neighborhood is all you know. That's what you rep. Like, get out. Like, and not just get out. Like, go and experience something that you're not going to regret. Like, I have, I have a son now. My son is 13 years old. I had him in high school. Because remember, I'm growing up. I was making mistakes left to right. But I was always rebounding from my mistakes, right? On how to, turn something that I won't even call a serious mistake, but turn something that could have been avoided to make it, deal with it and make it better, right? And my son now, I even got him. He's about to travel to Panama with his school. They selected him as a global ambassador because of, his mannership and how he approached things. He's like a younger version of me, except he's a Gemini.
I don't even know what that means. Right? I know nothing about zodiac signs. What does what Gemini's or what?
Yeah, so when they say Gemini's has like two personalities.
Right.
Okay.
And that's what I said. I had that growing up, but I'm a Virgo. And I feel like I had two personalities, but it wasn't as strong as my son.
Right.
Like now my son has the two personality because that's the sign of the Gemini, right?
Right.
It's like, you don't know what you're going to get. He might wake up and it's like, don't talk to me. But the next day he's like, that's an angel right there.
Right.
You know, but you got to, maintain it. I think that was that's what I get because that was me growing up. And then I see it and I'm like, man, this is how it was. But it's teaching me how to even develop within myself because I deal with multiple children like his age, older than him, all the way up from age 5 all the way up to 70. I'm dealing with like people with different emotions and they feel certain ways, and even the youth is like, and how do I make sure that I take myself out of that? Like I understand, all of us are hurt. We're dealing with so much trauma. Take myself out of being so like, I don't want to judge. I don't want to be, prejudiced towards people because you don't know how when they woke up today, did that person eat a meal in the last 3 days? Like, what's happening? So that's me. I'm pretty much I take them for where they at. And, before I even say anything, this is how we approach a lot of our programs that we're doing. We building fellowship. We building relationships. It's like, we're not going to ask you for anything that we can't do on our own. We just want you to be happy in your space, We're going to feed you, provide for you. We're going to see which ways we can help you, but we're not asking you for anything. We don't need no information, nothing. Just come eat. Just come relax with us. Then when you feel comfortable, share with us all the things that now make sense for us to develop and put this ecosystem around you.
Mm-hmm.
Dope.
Yeah. So yesterday I was like Googling youth violence and I stumbled upon the CDC website, right? And just got took out like a quick blurb from their definition of what youth violence is. So it's long-standing systematic health and social inequities have put many people from racial and ethnic minority groups at increased risk of violence. It is important for prevention efforts to consider social conditions disproportionately experienced by Black and African American youth and young adults. This includes conditions like concentrated poverty, residential segregation, and other forms of racism that limit opportunities to grow up in healthy, violence-free environments. Addressing the root causes of violence is critical to reducing high rates of violence in communities of color. What do you think is the root cause of some of the violence that we're seeing within the youth? What is that thing that's anchoring them back to these choices?
I think they said it perfectly because a lot of that's what we're saying. It's poverty. It's these neighborhoods that segregated that, I believe in like good diversity. Like diversity makes people, you always want to compete. Everybody got competitive like spirit in them. You want to compete in your field. You want to compete with your peers. That's what helped me in high school and junior high. I wanted to compete. I knew somebody that was better at solving math problems. I wanted to compete. So I challenged myself to get on that person level, It's natural. Everybody has a competitive spirit no matter what. No matter what that person say, everyone has that spirit in them. And you have to unlock it, though. They need somebody to help them unlock it. And CDC, like they're saying, hey, in these neighborhoods, in these different like sub-zones of population, it's the same. Like you can take this neighborhood, Wellington Park, D.C., you can take a neighborhood in Florida, a neighborhood in New York, a neighborhood in Texas, and you'll see the same exact metrics that say this is what is leading to youth violence. It's true, but the root cause is that these people want help. It's like too many times, years and years and years, and I always say this is just about, with our society in general, something that took 500 years to create, we think it could solve it in 10. It's like, make it make sense. Like, how do we solve something that took 500 years of back to back to back, like trauma and hardship and racism and segregation and all of these different ingredients to create this soup? But then you want me to come, this soup is hot. You want me to bring a bucket of ice and then just try to make it cool right away. It's like it doesn't work that way. We need the same effort that we put in to make it the way it is to fix it. But every time there's always, you get judged more for stuff that people don't see. It's like with my organization with ACM, we got this community health initiative where we focus on opioids, and we're focusing on different things that to help our individuals out there. We know these are the targeted areas in the city where a lot of drug addicts be. We saved 4 people's lives. They literally died in front of us, and we saved their lives, brought them back to life with, the Narcan and with, different things. And it's like these individuals, no one talks about that. No one talks about the work that we're doing behind the scenes that we can't even quantify that is helping. But people don't want to, everything is data. I love data. I went to school for data. Yeah. However, data, it doesn't show the whole picture.
Right. What's funny, this principal we had at Kelly Miller for another organization I work for would always say, it's hard to put a price on something that you stop from happening.
Right.
It's like, Kil, I can't prove that you and your crew have stopped so many fights or things like that, because of the data, which is why we're always very reactionary. If a kid dies, okay, now we got to put money into this program. But it's just like, what about all the kids who aren't dying because of the work that we're doing? But again, you can't put that
right.
Yep. And that's important. Like, how do we make a system that captures that type of data? Like, I can't tell you all the lives we saved for us being in the community, but we know before we got there was 100 shootings, and now it's only 20.
Right.
We saved some lives.
Right.
And that's not even including the truths that we have developed where, we got individuals that we know they was going to retaliate, or there was going to be some shootings. Put down your guns, come to the table, let's talk about it. We got all of this stuff off the radar. So people may think, oh, it's an increase. It's because it's police presence or this. Police always been around, and that stuff always happened. Mm-hmm. But the moment you put certain programs and certain people that are credible in these neighborhoods that the people understand and know, now all of a sudden, things are looking a little better, but the credit don't go to where the credit's supposed to, because then they look at other factors. And I think everything that we do, there's always different factors that lead up to what we want as peace. Now, everybody got to add their little ingredients, but we have to understand there's a lot of stuff that could happen that aren't happening because of the people that are doing the work on the front line, on the ground. But if we take them away, and, there's something that I don't wish, but I know that things will increase. Everything will increase. Mm-hmm. There's people that really are doing the work and really care about this work, the violence interrupters, the outreach workers, people that are on the front line, that they even proud of themselves for what they have been able to accomplish, because they know they're getting people to really stop shooting, because, again, innocent people are dying. Mm-hmm. A lot of people who are not involved in anything, people that don't even want to be involved in, they may did something and they man, I only did it for protection because that person was going to do it to me, but they want out of it. They want to get out of here. They want to but it's no way. You can't, you don't have the resources. You don't have the people that to get you out of your environment and put you in another environment so you can start over and be free, breathe again. Mm-hmm. But you got your family, you got your friends, your peers, everybody, man, you from here, you rep this, this is what we do. It's nah, nobody own nothing in this neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Nobody. But yet, y'all gonna die for this neighborhood. Y'all, life is beautiful. But too many times, especially our youth, they are living in this thing where not even living, they're surviving. So they are on survival mode. Every single day they wake up and go to school, they on survival mode. They just trying to survive. So they not thinking about living at all. Imagine if you're just waking up, I'm just trying to survive today. You can't even enjoy nothing. Everything you do, you're doing it on your tippy toes. You're creeping. That's why you see now, I was driving up here, a lot of people still got their face mask on, because they can't stand at the bus stop because somebody that they beefing with might shoot up the bus stop and other people get hurt, right? But it's what do we do? Because people are taking advantage with the mask as well. They're doing a lot of crimes. It's we are in a tough position as a society, and the only way that we can fix it is by everybody coming together as a unit. We stand on it. If we stand on business together, nobody can You can't deny it. The people that are doing the stuff that are harming our community, they can't deny it. They're going to step down. But everybody got to come together and stand on it. Because people know everything that's happening in the community. We all know. But it's like not a lot of people going to say anything because they don't want to be the only one, you know?
Right. And I mean, we already know snitches that don't float in our neighborhood. So if that get back to you that I'm talking and I'm running my mouth, then that just put my whole family in danger.
Isn't it tough? And it's like, so now you have these credible people where, you know, we're separating law enforcement, but these people in the community, these are your trusted people that you can talk to that's going to handle it internally, right? That's what they want, where you can tell and let them know this is what's going on, right? Because information is going to help us solve what's ever happening, because a lot of the times it's like that game, you know, when you all whispering in a cup and you think everybody know the same thing, even though I started off, the telephone game. But by the time it got to you, it's like, oh, that's not possible. Like, nothing that I said in the beginning is what you heard, right? So that's where we at right now. A lot of people just doing things because they think this is what's supposed to happen, or this beef is because of something that you wasn't even born. Like, you don't even know what the beef started for. Because X, Y, and Z slept with X, Y, and Z girls. So now y'all whole neighborhood got to beef and kill each other over somebody that's not even there no more.
And the wild part is it makes me think of The Wire when Slim Charles told Avon, if it's a lie, then we fight on that lie.
Right.
But we got to fight. It don't matter if they kill String or not. That means it's oblivious to this.
Yeah.
People think they did. So we have to fight on that lie.
And that's the part that sucks in when it comes to this neighborhood beef. A lot of these neighborhoods are beefing with each other. Like, let's say I may be beefing with a neighborhood up the street, but I'm beefing with 5 other neighborhoods as well. So the moment that I put my gun down with you all and say it's a truce, the other neighborhood, we got them. Now they come back around, but we just solved our problem. But because you got certain neighborhoods that's beefing with like 10 neighborhoods, it's like, They got to be on always go mode because they don't know. Even though they want to stop, these neighborhoods want to stop. And maybe we just tell all the neighbors, everybody that previously lived in here, they're gone. They're not, like they did, they relocated a lot of folks from Berry Farms.
Right.
In D.C. It's like, so they relocated them so people can't say you beefing with Berry Farms no more. Because they ain't no Berry Farms, right? But they going to say, people still repping, I'm from Berry Farms, but it's not as heavy. You don't see people going at people from Berry, but back when we was coming up, you from Berry Farms? Or people like that, that was a heavy thing to be from. So it's like, you don't see the dynamics anymore. And not saying that, you know, we want to redevelop these communities, like make them better. Like, I'm all for, like, you know, good development, because like these communities we don't own, like, let's want better for ourselves as a society, as for our children, for the youth, and for each other. Like, let's want better. So, like, why do we have to live in poverty and we think that's okay? Like we don't deserve to have luxury things. We don't deserve to have things without people saying why you got this and why this person. No, everybody, we all can get it. There's enough for everybody. But because our mindsets are so small and they want you to think that way, like, I'm good with this. I'm happy with this. I'm content with this. You can't be content with something that is an illusion. Like, they are living, you know, in this illusion world, and they're content with mediocre. It's like, no, be the best that you can be. Go accomplish your dream that you wanted to do 50 years ago. It's not late. Do whatever you want. If you're a youth, you think that your community is going to clown you, it's okay. Guess what? Because they're going to look up to you when you go do what you had to do, because we all got to fight through adversity. Everybody. But everybody can't always make it on the other side. But guess what? We got friends, we got family, we got people that really care and want to see the best for you. And we have to start relying on them people and start trusting again. Because I know trust is broken. There's too many broken promises because of resources, right? A lot of people, mentors, we get mentors that come in our life, and we thinking that they don't love us no more, or they can't come in and help us with our journey. But the thing is, the resources ran out. And even though they can do it on their own pocket, a lot of them don't have it because they got their families as well. They got a lot of stuff going on as well. But the resources help them be with you when you needed them to be. But it's like, we have to think of it as you're here for the moment to progress me, to grow me, so that I can do the same for somebody else in the future. It's like, but we be dependent on it, like we need it. It's like, as I say, sometimes you're here for a good time, not a long time. So that good time, you take the moments. Like that good time, you need it. But that long-term effect is you giving back. And that's like my whole journey. Like I never thought I would be a restaurant owner, you know? And I give back though. I still have my mentality. Like we gave over 2,000 turkeys for Thanksgiving, right? And it's like my mentality is still the same where I'm a give back person because I can say I'm not supposed to be here, but I'm not going to wish that on me because I'm here, right? There's many circumstances that could have led to other things for me, but I'm here today, and I believe in everything that I had coming to me was supposed to happen, and everything that's coming is going to happen, right? But
harness your vibe. That's
yeah,
exactly
you
what.
got to.
There you go. Real quick, just a reminder, y'all tuned into the HK Couch, hosted by your man Kil and Shandell.
Yep.
HortonsKids.org, an amazing organization here in D.C. Check us out, support us, pour into us. Just another quick tag real quick.
Yeah. So you just said so much. I had my little brain just going. One thing I want to point out is that there's a trend in what you're saying as far as just making sure that you're getting out, being exposed outside of the community, moving out, having people move from their old community and into a new one so they can see something different. How important is it to be relocated, or go somewhere else that's outside of your community?
I think it's extremely important, but you also have to take your mindset too. So one of the things that I always say, and people like they don't really get it, but I say, in order for you to truly be comfortable, you first must be uncomfortable, right? And you're always gonna be uncomfortable if you're going somewhere new. Like this is a new environment for me. I never been here. Like, oh, this is a new neighborhood. I don't know nobody. It's okay because that's how you truly gonna become comfortable. Yeah, you're comfortable in your environment now because it's your neighborhood. But are you truly comfortable? Because people might come in and shoot your neighborhood up, or something might occur, and you always got to fight. Are you comfortable? No, but you take yourself out of the environment of you think you're comfortable to really uncomfortability, and then you'll see that you start to become comfortable in your skin, in your relationships, in everything. Like every time I travel the country, like different places, I'm uncomfortable because it's not what I'm used to. I'm used to certain stuff in the States, but I like to immerse myself in everybody's culture. Like any place I go, I'm gonna immerse myself in different cultures, and that way, I went from uncomfortable to comfortable because like they say that the saying is true. When in Rome, do what the Romans do. That's how you're gonna get comfortable. Like if you go to a certain neighborhood and you move from your neighborhood, you're not from. Don't rep your neighborhood. You in that neighborhood. That's Rome for you. So do what they do to make sure that you fit in. Because you're changing your environment and you want to develop yourself, but you can't go with the same mentality of your previous neighborhood to this one. Like you're gonna run everything and you're gonna do what you want to do. They have their own people there. They have their own people who've been doing it for a long time, and their own people who really want things a certain way. So you have to have that mindset. Like this is about growth. The growth mindset. I learned this in grad school. Like literally. That growth mindset, because everything is a mindset thing. If you dream it, you will it, you go accomplish it. It's like, and I'm not saying it's easy, because it's not, because you're gonna have to go through some blows and you're gonna go through some crying and some praying and some like, yo, why me? But trust me, at the end of the day, you be like, it's me. That's why me, because it's me. You take your faith, you take everything that you've been through and just try to continue, because a lot of times now, that's one thing I don't even see. I don't see the faith in a lot of the youth. Like, I don't see them going into the churches no more, but church is not always the best place to be when it comes to the youth when development, but any type of fellowship, it's like, I don't see that anymore. Like, I don't see them going into having those community-oriented like sessions where I don't even see people, and I did this. I don't even see like my son and like we're sitting down unless we're out to eat, but there's no like real dinner. It's like, yo, let me talk about your day. Like the communication, that beginning part is like, how was your day today? What did you learn today? Like we don't see that anymore. the parents don't talk to the children anymore. They like your child, stay in a child place. We all had that. My mom still talk to me. It's like, we're gonna sit at this table, we're gonna eat this food that you prepared, but you don't see it no more where, I don't know if it's my generation or is it like we not talking to the kids anymore. Like we're like you're a child. No, but that's your child. Protect your child. Understand what they're going through. Because it's different growing up now. You know?
I mean, completely different. We have the phone, social media. We have a lot of distractions that's happening. And that's a part of our world right now. So it's so hard, especially you go out to eat and you see the first thing when a child is upset or throwing a tantrum, you see a mom just going into their bag and pulling out a tablet, right? So self-regulation has now been reduced to your cell phone or I don't know, Cocoa Melon. Right.
Yeah. That's true.
Or like you said, you go out and you see everybody at the table is a family, but everybody's on their phones.
Yep.
Nobody's talking. So like you said, that communication piece is sorely missing from what we get nowadays.
Yeah, that family piece no longer exists, and we wonder why certain things. Obviously, there's a lot more distractions than back in the days, but it's like we need to bring that structure back. Even if you got a single parent household, like sit with your children, talk to your children. Like they need to tell you stuff that's happening because you might not know something might be really happening. Happening to your children that is making them the way they are, and you thinking, is it me? Don't blame yourself. Talk to your children because it might not be you. It might be somebody else, and they can't even say anything. But having that open dialogue to where they feel comfortable enough to tell you everything without you going from 0 to 1,000, right? But understanding like, I got to protect you more. I got to make sure that you're okay. I got to, be more involved. But it's just so hard to try to balance the work life, the family life, the community life. Like people really can't balance all this. Like time management is important right now. And people coming off a pandemic, we're dealing with a lot.
The other thing too, Fair, because we always talk about the kids.
Yes.
And I feel like the kids are like, come on, y'all. It ain't just all us. Because here's the problem. Parents can't get off their phones either.
Right.
Like we want to always talk about the kids addicted to their phones. Parents on their phones too. I didn't say when you go to dinner, you just see the kids on the phone.
Right.
Nah, mom and dad on the phone too. So for me to have to ask my child, how was your day today? That means I got to get off the gram.
Right.
Yep.
That means I got to put the phone down.
Yep.
That means I got to put the TV down. I got to pause whatever reality TV I'm watching down. And that's the thing. So it's really the whole structure has to be changed.
Yep. I concur 1,000%. And I think and even if we say, hey, during this hour, no phones, no TV, we just talk.
You know what we used to do? When I first started this work 23 years ago at John Tyler, we had a program, Heads Up, and we did Drop Everything and Read.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That was old school. That's 23
old. That's
years
very
ago.
old
That's
school.
very old school. And it was
that.
for an hour. We are going to drop everything that we are doing, and we are going to read. And everybody read. The teachers read. The counselors read. It wasn't just the kids reading and we over here. Everybody read.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We got to bring that back.
We got to bring that back. Me and Naomi used to do that. We would drop everything and read. And she would get a book, and I would get a book, and we would battle. I'm from the hip hop.
Yeah.
So everything is a battle. So I'm reading a book on Allen Iverson. She reading a book over here. We read one chapter. Okay, but why was your chapter better than mine?
Right.
Okay, well now I'm gonna tell you why my chapter was better than yours.
See, that's important. That's that competitive spirit.
Yeah,
Right.
and then it was just planting the seeds of not only reading, but then you have to read and defend what you read.
Yes. Communication.
Man,
Right.
I'm
But it had to
implement
be
that. I like
intentional.
that.
But it had to be intentional.
Yeah.
Because if it's not intentional, like you said, there's so much going on every day. So if it's not intentional, we forget about it.
I love that because so we just applying for another grant to do an after school program in about 3 schools, and we're gonna be with the youth for like 3 hours a day after school. And what we want to do, like we have certain things we was going to implement, but I think I want to even make that a part of it because we're going to tutor them, we're going to get them up to par so they're going to understand the math, reading, teach them conflict resolution. And even we're getting a curriculum developed for financial literacy per grade level.
Right.
Understanding that at a young age will do everything they need for the youth growing up. So just having that, I think that'll be like for 30 minutes. Hey, this is your reading session.
Right.
And then the next 30 minutes, tell each other why your chapter was better or what you read was better.
Yeah.
Like that is powerful because we don't have that anymore. And it's the structure. We need more structure. The society is becoming unstructured right now. Like certain things have to be organized. And that's something that is extremely important. If we take that back and get that, drop everything, read, like come, hey, at 8 o'clock, y'all turn all your electronics off. We come, we eat, talk about our day. Then, after 9, you go back to your thing, but tell your friends everything. Hey, I can't have my phone after 8. If you develop that now while they're young, they have that, now they got responsibility. You're giving them some type of responsibility so they can know that I'm responsible as well. I'm not just, after 8, y'all don't text me because I'm eating with my family. And now you got control. You want to give them some type of control because they feel like they can't control anything. They just got to listen. I go to class, I come home, I eat, I sleep, same thing every day. Weekends, I might have some fun, but give them the control and say, hey, tell your friends after 8, from 8 to 9, you can't talk because you were family mode now,
So one thing here at Horton's Kids, we operate in the OST space as well, and we do like after school tutoring and enrichment, and we get to connect with our kids. And it's a blast. This space turns into a kiddie heaven after 5 o'clock. One thing that we're noticing that kids want a place to go to, they also have a lot of trouble managing their emotions. And you have those conversations about managing their emotions. And then you may connect to a parent about managing their emotions. But then you realize quickly that mom and dad doesn't have the know-it-all to regulate their emotions. How important is it to have a emotionally stable presence in your life as an adolescent?
It's extremely important because that's where we have conflict resolution. So when we developed our conflict resolution with American University, we directly said we need something to help these individuals manage emotion, and not just the youth, but the adults. So not only is so we have a really good program. The youth that come on our calls, we do it via Zoom and we do it via in person. The youth that comes Tuesdays and Thursdays, they get $25 a week for showing up. And you imagine that now you got responsibility. We want to give them responsibility, but control responsibility. So your responsibility is showing up and participating on this call for conflict resolution and getting the information to manage your emotions and understand how to deal with your peers, and then taking that same effort to school. So we've been, paying them to come, and, we've been noticing that, and we developed something else. See, everything is about, trial and error, like understanding how you're going to get results. When they come to us, they understand conflict resolution. They doing everything they supposed to do. But when they go to school the next day, I got money. You know what I'm saying? They all over the place now. And we're like, so they are just, they hitting us with the okie doke. They're coming to us acting like, okay, we're good. Yeah, because they want their $25, at the end of the week. But we're like, okay, now let's put something in place where, you come to us for twice a week. That's just a check that you showed up twice a week. But then we need your teacher to sign off. And then we need your parent to sign off that you've been good throughout the week to get 25. Now, because some of the 25 is like, parents need that money as well. And we're like, we don't want to take everything away. So now it's just like, it's in segments. Like, you got to earn the 25. You're going to start off at $5. So now, instead of us, you can make 25, but you got to be able to do everything you need to do instead of us just giving you 25 right away. So now we could put more responsibility on the youth and more responsibility on the parent to make sure they talk to the youth because they need that money too. So it was like, how do we do it, right? And then we got the parents even coming on certain days when we have the adults. We're training the parents now for conflict resolution. Deal with your emotions. We're getting them to talk about empathy, getting them to talk about things that they don't normally talk about, and they're expressing themselves. They're breaking down. They're crying. They're like, yo, I didn't think about it this way. Or I didn't know that I was doing this to this person. It's like, now you see that they got a reality check amongst themselves. So imagine if the child and the parent are both getting conflict resolution, and now the household is a different household. Like before streaming, like they talking. Let me make sure before I approach them a certain way that this is the correct way to really talk to them, because I don't know. I know we didn't eat the day, both of us, and so our emotions high. But some kids look forward. Like we give them that meal, they coming for that meal. That might be their meal for the night. After they left school, it's like everything matters. And a lot of times, I think I'm not sure how the guidance counselors are these days, but they don't have no real conversations. Like, did you eat today? Are you getting 3-course meals? So not to discipline or make the parent seem a bad parent, because we don't know the circumstances, we don't know the situation, but to help that child, at least when they come in your control environment of a school, guess what? And after school, you're gonna be able to eat. I'm gonna make sure, okay, you had your 2 meals, you had your breakfast for you was here early, you had your lunch, and then after school, I'll make sure you get some food, because I don't know if that's I don't know if you're gonna eat tonight, But then even taking that off the parent to, hey, now let's save. Let's try to help you save, and teaching the parents that financial literacy piece as well. Like saving, like credit, like how to get more stuff for you to develop and then put yourself in a better predicament for emergency purposes, because things come up every day. And the parents are dealing with so much these days, as well as the children, but somebody got to take responsibility, right? Somebody has to be, and we don't want, the children should have control responsibility, where you put them in control, like environments that, they have the ownership of control, but you really controlling it. But the parents, though, it's like they need help. A lot of these parents never had help, and a lot of these parents was children raising children,
right?
And not just one. We talking about 4, 3, 7, 8, but that don't mean we penalize them. That don't mean that we stop, believing that they can change as well. They want better. It's just the environment put them where they at. So we have to teach that conflict resolution first, get them back emotionally stable, and then help them help themselves to help their family ecosystem, right? Because we don't know how they got there in the first place. So.
Right. Now tell me this. You talking about meals for the kids. Where's a good restaurant I could go to in DC?
Yes, indeed.
Is there a recommendation somewhere where I could go
yes,
if I'm trying to break bread?
Oh, man. So I have this great restaurant in mind. You can break a lot of bread. So it's called DC Capitol Square Bar and Grill. We actually located down the street from the school I graduated from, which is Eastern Senior High School on 1500 East Capitol Street, Northeast Washington, D.C. And we opened up another location thanks to the mayor's food access grant. I'm opening up in Southeast D.C. Right here on Good Hope Road.
Word.
So, I want to put something here in the community that, everyone can get to, and I'm going to make it fun. I'm going to make it nice. It's going to be grown and sexy and family-oriented at the same time. I want everybody to be able to come and enjoy themselves, to have something in the neighborhood where it's not, that doesn't exist. Like, I want them to know that this is luxury for you all. Like, you deserve it. Like, you deserve a great meal. You deserve, a fine dining experience, You deserve everything. Like, don't think that you don't deserve it, because you were born, you deserve it. If you were born and you on this planet Earth, like, you deserve it. So I want everyone to feel comfortable. Even the prices, like, we want everything to be for the people. We're a community-oriented restaurant. My partners, my partner Nigerian, like, we have our African connection, and we pretty much are, moving and grooving. And he's older. He's my mentor as well. So it's like having someone that's, 30 years older than you, that's definitely like wants you to succeed, wants you to do good, and wants you, like, call you a blessing in his life, but he a blessing in your life.
Right.
And it's like that energy you feeding off each other. It's like, I don't know where it came from, but it just occurred, right? And it's natural. It's not forced. It's just some natural good energy. So that's why we have DC Capitol Square Bar and Grill. This second location is going to be marvelous. We really want, we're going to add a different flavor. We brought in one of the top chefs in the city, Chef JR, formerly of like Kitchen Cray. Now he's, with us and bringing his best dishes to us as well. So we gonna have some food for y'all. When I tell you,
I love
if
to eat.
if you don't eat good, hey,
love it.
come see me. All right, come see me. But you gonna eat good. You gonna enjoy the fellowship with your family, and we just want everybody to just enjoy the time. Like when we're in the process of building it now, but it's in a shopping center, so there's a lot of other good environment, grocery stores and stuff over there to where you go shopping, leave the groceries in the car a little bit or for a hot second, or eat first then go shopping, right?
It's have people spoiling their meat.
You gonna get some good meat next door, but we want that good environment for everybody. So yeah, DC Capitol Square Bar and Grill.
That's dope. That's dope. So Wellington Park,
Yeah.
Yes.
2 master's degrees,
Yes.
president of organization,
Yeah.
restaurant co-owner, also an ANC commissioner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a lot, bro.
I know, and sometimes I ask myself how, and I'm on autopilot now. I want to say I'm living where, all this stuff it didn't come overnight. It didn't take it was a lot of sacrifices, a lot of ups and downs. To this day, I'm still learning. I'm still thriving. I'm still trying. I'm still developing. And all I can say, I'm truly blessed. And I just want to do more. Like that's always been my thing. Everybody always asks me, what makes you happy? And since I was young, the only thing that truly made me happy was seeing other people happy around me. So that's been my motto. That's why I think a lot of stuff is occurring because it's genuine. That's the only thing that made me happy. Like I couldn't tell nobody anything. What makes you happy? I don't know. I always say I don't know. The only thing that I can tell you is that when I see a smile that I put on other people's face, when I see people happy that I contributed to their happiness, oh man, I get this feeling in my heart that I'm just like, so this is what happiness feels like. So if that's my motto and that's my agenda, like, hey, if I can make other people happy, I think that, that's truly my happiness, making other people happy.
All right.
Dope.
All right. We always want to leave. I'm very big on steps to move forward. You've accomplished a lot.
Yep.
Somebody out here is watching, someone out here is listening, and they don't know where to start. What are 3 starting points that you would want to give somebody, again, coming from a community like you came from, coming from Eastern High School, coming from your background? What are the 3 steps or the 3 things that you think that this person watching or listening would need to hear to start their journey?
Mm-hmm. I go back to elementary. Use your words. Use your words. Really, it's hard to sometimes, express yourself, but honestly, you have to speak up. You have to use your words. You have to ask for what you think you need and find someone that can help you develop. So if the first one is use your words, the second one is to, when you use your words, to find people that fits the mold or the environment or the experience that you want in life. The third, and with the second one, find them people. That means get out your environment. Get out your environment. Understand that the world is much bigger than your neighborhood. When you recognize that, and it's going to take more than one time traveling. Once you travel 3, 4 times, you start to realize that I want better for myself. I want something different. And don't try to, and the third one, compete with yourself. And when you're starting off, compete with yourself. When you try to chase people that you think got everything, in the mix of that, they don't. It's a lot of hardship in that. It's a lot of stuff that's, happening that you quite don't understand. They fighting demons, right? It's a lot of people going through stuff. So compete with yourself first. Challenge yourself. Be a better version of yourself. Have those conversations with yourself first. And you would understand that, them 3 things together, everything else going to fall in place. You don't even have to look for it. It's going to find you.
All right, give them to us one more time. It was use your words.
Use your words. Change your environment. And with that change, it's change your environment with finding a mentor. And then that third one, challenge yourself. Compete with yourself. So you compete with yourself, change your environment / find your mentors. mentors with an S, because you're gonna have different mentors for everything.
Different things.
Yeah, for everything. I had multiple mentors. Some paid my room. But I had a lot of different mentors. And then that use your words though. Like, cause people don't know. If people don't know, and no one can read minds, at least not yet.
Right.
Like you said, not yet. It's
Not
coming.
yet.
Not
It's
yet.
coming.
Like,
It's gonna be an app on your phone.
oh yeah, for sure. You know, it's gonna change the game. But if you able to do that, like literally use your words just to say, hey, this is what I need. This is what I would like to do. And can you help me with this? Some people, you know, like just telling people that, because they might not be the right person for you, but they understand other people and they can put you in connections with other people.
Right.
As I always say that too. I say sometimes you probably not the best person to raise your child. And it's sad, but sometimes that's true.
Yeah.
And it's like, but there's other people in your ecosystem that might be a better person to help raise your children, right? And you that don't mean you're a failed parent though. That don't mean that you failed in life. That just means it's just for the time. Like, you know how people is. You might listen to your aunt instead of listening to your mother.
Right.
Right? That's the environment.
Right.
Right.
Well,
Wow.
man. Oh.
Oh, so I was going to say, I want to thank you for coming out and sitting on the couch with us today.
Thank you.
It was most definitely a great experience to sit here and just talk to you about a plethora of other things. I'm like I said, I'm super happy for you. I'm super proud of who you are, especially knowing the environment, the community that you come from, and really just manifesting your dreams. Because that's what it seems like through this conversation, is that you are someone who does not live with limited beliefs. I love that you said that, you know, you tap into a growth mindset and really understanding what it takes in order to thrive beyond your circumstances. So thank you so much for coming out today.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, where can they get at you? Social media, everything. We need to know where the
Yeah.
restaurant is again. We need to know where we could get you on Twitter, Instagram. Where you at, bro?
So on X, /Twitter, I can be reached at DC for Rosenberg or Rosenberg for DC. Let me try. Rosenberg at Rosenberg, the number 4 DC. And then on Instagram, somebody hacked my Instagram, but I lost my password. They not letting me back in, but it's DC for Rosenberg. So pretty much they're around the same name. And then the restaurant, DC Capitol Square Bar and Grill. You can always, I'll be there. I'll fellowship with you, eat with you. The nonprofit Alliance of Concerned Men. We're on the Du Bois Place, 3227 Du Bois Place Southeast in Washington, D.C. Pretty much, you're going to find me. You want to meet me, you'll be able to find me, locate me. And really, I'm always here. I'm always, open to connect other people with things that they need in order to progress. And, I'm all for the helping. So, making you happy is going to make me happy. And how I can do that is by being just a beacon for relationship building and, just doing what people did to me.
Right. Yep. Shandell, where can they get at you?
Obviously, everyone can get at me at Love by Shandell on Instagram, or, hit the Horton's Kids website, click on my little icon, and all of my information is there.
All right. And you already know this with me, Kil, 889, Twitter, IG. Again, Horton's Kids. I do so many podcasts. I was about to say something totally else. HortonsKids.org. Definitely check us out. Support us. We're out here. We're doing great things. Come join us. Be part of the team. And again, the thing I appreciate you coming out. We really do. And again, I always challenge people because we were at an event and you get all these organizations together and we always exchange numbers and, it just falls. And this was a relationship that didn't fall as soon as, we got your number, we reached out, we were talking with you. This is your second time being here. So we just appreciate that. And I always challenge people watching, if you're in this work, be about the work.
Yeah.
Not just, we're at these organizations, we're at these meetings with other power players. Let's connect. Let's figure out how we could do the work, because the bigger goal is to just make sure our youth have a wonderful tomorrow. So
Yeah.
keep it locked. We'll check y'all next time.
Bye.
Peace.